thank you so much for joining me for your morning cup of gratitude. My name is Joel Gackle, and I serve as the Senior Director of Alumni Engagement here at Augustana. We know that this isn't a time where you are able to join us on campus, and I feel so honored to bring these stories into your home. With me today is Maddisen Barness. Maddie is a senior from Sioux Falls studying communication disorders. Maddie, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Maddie, one of the things that everyone wants to know, whether it's donors, alumni, supporters, others, is how did you arrive at Augustana? What did that journey look like for you?
Yeah, so I have grown up in Sioux Falls, so I've always kind of known about Augie. I used to do piano concerts here and I would do swimming lessons. So I always kind of knew that it was an option for college. But I never really thought that I would end up here. I didn't think that I wanted to stay in Sioux Falls. I thought I wanted to go further away or just kind of get some new experiences. But yeah, I loved it when I toured it. And so that's how I ended up here. Yeah.
What was it about the tour that seemed to grab you, since it was your backyard your entire life?
Yeah, I was really surprised that it felt completely different than I expected. It didn't feel like I was still in high school or that I was still living with my parents. It just felt completely different. And I remember everybody was so kind. That was the thing that really stuck out to me, is that everybody was so nice. If I talked to students, if I talked to professors, everybody was just so nice and so welcoming. And I just loved the community that it felt like. I liked the small campus and just feeling like, okay, I could live here for the next 4 years, and it feels right.
Very cool. Now, Maddie, how did you arrive on communication disorders? Was that something you had planned coming in, or something that found you while you were here?
It definitely found me. So I went in expecting to go for nursing, actually. My older sister is a nurse and my dad works in the medical field. So I thought that was just what I wanted to do. But I think it was right. It was my freshman year. I just didn't really feel like it clicked for me. I didn't think that I could do the schedule, and it just didn't feel like me. So I went with the Student Success Center a couple times and just kind of worked through exactly what I wanted. And I thought maybe I wanted to go for education, but still wasn't really set on that. And so I kind of met in the middle with communication disorders. You could go more medical if you wanted and still kind of be in that field, but you can also work in a school. So I liked that kind of middle ground aspect of it. And yeah, just really clicked with the professors and was excited about the classes. So I think my spring semester of my sophomore year is when I started the communication disorders program, and I loved it. So it worked.
Very cool. Now, you said the schedule for nursing didn't look quite right for you, but you've been really involved since you've been on campus. Can you share a little bit about some of the ways you've been involved?
Yeah, I remember one of my friends who was a senior when I came into college told me, just sign up for everything and see what you like and what works. So my freshman year, I really just jumped into everything. I was on SALT for a little bit and did Teen Town, which I really, really liked. And then Augie-thon, that was kind of my big one that I was pretty involved with. So I was all 4 years of that. I was the co-president last year. So that was something that's really close to my heart. I love it. I've done NISLA.
Can you share a little bit, about what Augie-thon is for those who don't know?
Yeah, Augie-thon is pretty much like the dance marathon for Augustana. They raise money and awareness for Children's Miracle Network, specifically Stanford Children's, which is pretty close to campus. So yeah, that's Augie-thon. Then NISLA, which is National Student Speech Language Hearing Association. It's kind of like the ComDis program. We get to travel to conventions for that, being on the board for them, a couple of different Bible studies on campus, and Friends Link a little bit, which is partnering with different students on campus with different special needs and abilities, and yeah, throughout the community. So those are kind of my things that I like to keep busy with.
Very cool. So you mentioned a lot of ways that you've served and Bible studies you've been involved in. How has being at Augustana deepened both your desire to serve others and also deepened your faith?
Yeah, I think just seeing how much we can use like our resources and ourselves to serve others, and just using our passions to go out and to further the community and make the community and just our city a better place. I think being in Sioux Falls and growing up in Sioux Falls and now going to college in Sioux Falls, and just having professors that have just been so encouraging of go out and use these things that you've learned and use these passions of yours to make other people's lives better and help other people. So I think that's really just deepened my desire to serve and use what I've learned and help other people. So I think that's how I've definitely been encouraged to serve. And then I think my faith has grown a ton just with the Augustana, like the value of faith has been so influential, and going to chapel and making that part of my weekly routine has been awesome. And then I do Luther House of Study, which is a Bible study. And that has been great. It's just been a really non-judgmental place for questions, which has been awesome. And just getting to talk with people about their faith and their kind of walk. And so that's been great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, one of the ways you haven't been officially involved on campus has been dance, but dance has been a long time passion of yours and a way that you want to use it in the future. Can you share about how you might want to uniquely use dance?
Yeah. So I grew up dancing. It was something that I always loved to do. And again, staying in Sioux Falls, I had the opportunity to keep working at the studio that I was at. And so as I kind of started to look into future careers and what I wanted, I knew that I wanted to dance in some way, but I didn't really expect for it to become a career opportunity. But as I was studying communication disorders, I saw this need for movement and things that would just help different populations in a different way. And so I started to look into dance therapy and different things like that, and really just found kind of that sweet spot of using communication disorders and dance. So looking into things like dance for Parkinson's and how much it can help those patients. And then kids in different special ed programs, just the movement and getting out of their chair and finding different ways to move around is super impactful. So I'm hoping to do something along those lines with my degree.
Now, communication disorders already, you have to modify some of the learning that you do. Mm-hmm. How does it look differently in this current time, even for classes for you?
Yeah, it's been quite a bit different. Sitting away from people, not getting to sit right next to them, masking all the time, professors not being able to just kind of walk into their office and sit down and talk. But I think Augie's just done a really great job of still letting students know, like, we're still a community and we're still there for each other, even though it's different. And it's hard missing out on activities and not getting to do those normal things as a senior. But the fact that we've just been on campus and all of the professors and staff has been really encouraging about being safe and being smart to keep us together. It's been really awesome. So I'm thankful that we could at least be together, even though it's been different. Very
cool. Now, without scholarships, what would your Augustana journey have looked like for you?
Yeah, it would not have been the same. I definitely would have been working more. I would have been walking out with a lot more debt, and it just would have been more stressful, I think. Having scholarships, I've just been able to step away from thinking about money and paying for school and just really focus on going to college and enjoying it, and just truly being so thankful for my degree and what I'm walking out with versus thinking about walking out with all of this debt and how am I going to pay for this and how is this going to affect my future?
Maddie, we feel so fortunate that we have an entire community of donors who create both annual scholarships and endowed scholarships to make Augustana a reality for you and so many like you. What would be one last thing you'd want to say to thank those who have given to make this opportunity possible?
I would just say the most sincere thank you. I think these donors are just like the heroes of Augustana because they've given so many students the opportunity to come to college and experience college at a place that is so special and just incredible. And I mean, my college experience would not have been the same without these donors. So I just have so much gratitude, and I'm so humbled to have received a scholarship and to have the opportunity to go to Augie and not have the stress of money and finances. I'm very, very grateful. So thank you.
Well, Maddie, thanks so much for joining us today and reminding us of all that we have to be grateful for. I wish everyone watching this blessings, and also because of people like you and other donors, you can see these stories and you can see people like Maddie and the experiences that they have. And until next time, thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.